we get kittens anytime. We
But not like these
humans come and
ones.
go.
You get kitties like
You
this
ever find out
anytime.
what causes those kittens? How you
Same thing
get so
that causes
many?
babies.
Huh?
Same thing that causes babies.
Rajitko.
Is that a good answer?
Huh?
Is that a good answer?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay,
Now
Daddy.
you should have heard my dad call the animals when they would get into the wrong stall and they'd start backing out. My dad would call them Frajitkos.
Call them what?
Frajitkos.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. So,
Yeah,
and what does Fajicos mean? Get your butt back in there.
I imagine.
Yeah, Mom's brothers and sister, they're all up to the mid-90s.
Oh, good.
The only one who passed away early was
But
Aunt
this
Evelyn,
is
and she was
so
like in her
beautiful.
70s.
Okay, you were telling me a story about the farm. Daddy is recording it now.
Well,
So you had cows, 16 stalls. Go through that
oh
again.
yes, and then we had that was in the new part of the barn. The old part of the barn was there, but they added on to the new part. And then they had uh, baby pigs. They had stalls or
Pens.
bedrooms
Oh, okay.
for the female when she had her babies, and until the babies were nursing well and it wasn't too darn cold out, so they would move them out to the farm or out to the outer buildings. But they always had good warm areas to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
But but we did, like I said, we roller skated. We cleaned off the newest part of the barn, of the floor upstairs,
Yep.
and swept it real good. And we'd have roller skating parties up there, and then we'd have the mothers would get together and make candy. Most of it was taffy candy. They would pull and pull, and everybody got to wash their hands and take turns and pull the candy, and it was always something to do, which was really nice. Yeah.
And you made trapeze in the barn and
Oh yeah, that was so fun because we'd go way up. Leonard and I were the most meanest ones, the no, crazy ones.
oh,
We'd go as high as we could, and we'd holler at Dad and down there, to get out of the way because here we come. Oh, he'd holler at us and holler, and we'd go boop right alongside of him. Well, right now I could just go boop like this, and I better be up in the bathroom, you know. But the farm was good. The farm was good.
kept us occupied.
Huh?
Kept us occupied.
Oh, occupied was absolutely. So many people said it was so awful hard to work on a farm. We didn't think so. You know, Leonard walked behind that plow for hours, you know, and Dad too. You know,
Single plow or
oh yeah, but then we also had the disc that we could ride
okay.
on a disc, you know. But riding a drag on a farm, that was kind of hard to do because you'd have to get up and lift up the drag and turn it over or clean it out and then start over again. And the horses sometimes just kind of itchy. They had to move, you know, and so it was always a job. But it was time to go out and get the cattle. By man, I was right there, and so that was really nice. Yeah.
When you said you had 3 cows, what did that mean?
That I had 3 cows.
Yeah.
Well, because when the calf was born,
Okay.
if you liked that calf, then that was going to be yours. But you got to take care of that calf.
Okay.
Oh, sure, Dad, I can take care of that calf. Well, you know how that goes. But anyway,
No, I always took care of it.
yeah, I did too.
Oh, okay.
I did too. I did too. And you know what's the funniest part was that when you're teaching a calf how to drink, well, you get the milk down in a bucket, and you put your hand down in that milk, and you straddle that calf and shove his head down there. Now, if he is not going to drink that milk, then you kick him out. But most of the time, the shoe's on the other foot because I got several times. That wasn't a nice place to get chewed in.
Yeah, we put our finger in their mouth with the milk
Oh, yeah.
to get them to suck.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
suckle.
sure. You push their head down into
Yep,
that bucket where the milk was and get their fingers, your fingers in their mouth.
Mhm.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. But and that's how I got mine. Oh,
When you got your three
yep.
animals.
Dead.
You said Leonard didn't like the cows?
Ray didn't.
Oh, Ray did. Okay.
Ray didn't care for the farm, but he did a heck of an awful lot of work too, just like everybody else. But he complained a lot. Yeah, but that's okay. We all did some complaining. But I didn't date too many times, I'll tell you, because I just thought, hey, this is more important than going out on a date.
You said because you were a farm girl and you had muscles.
Oh,
Tell that.
yeah. But we had dances at home on the farm too, you know.
Barn dance.
Oh, sure, we had the big parlor in the house, and there was about maybe four couples could dance in the room, you know.
Mhm.
But all the furniture was moved to other places, and the rug was picked up, and the floor was waxed, and hey, and there was always somebody in the neighborhood that could play a banjo or a guitar or an accordion, and this is what we all the farmers did.
Okay.
So that was really nice,
Electric lights.
huh?
Electric lights. When did you get electric lights?
When do we get electric lights? Not as long as I remember.
On the farm? Okay.
I don't. I remember them saying they got lights now in the barn, but they had milking machines and everything by that time
Yeah.
and everything. So you
My
know,
my first electric light was a car battery, on the upstairs floor, with the light bulb through the heat register
right?
connected to the car battery. That was the first lights that I remember, and I was age 3 or 4, so that'd be 1943. So that was our
Yeah.
first electric lights. That's why I asked about.
Right.
Yeah, you'd have been off the farm by the time electric
Oh,
lights.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, dates.
But isn't that
Dating. You said you didn't date much.
date?
Yeah.
No. No. No.
So how did you meet your husband and stuff like that?
Well, we were
If
at
you
a-
want to share.
Yeah, we were the Breivik girls and Yosemite girls. We were all in the dance pavilion, sitting in a
Around the outside or
the
Chairs
chairs
or-
or
okay.
and this man came over and asked me to dance, and Charlotte Breivik looked at me. She said, "You're not going to dance with that crazy looking guy, are you?" I said, "Oh hell yes, I'm going to marry him." And he looked at me. He said, "Are you sure?" And we,
that was that.
when the time came, we got married.
Okay.
So
So your last name was Braybeck?
my last name was Warzeha,
Oh, okay.
and so now it's Enos. That's how it goes.
Okay.
But it was, I loved that farm. I'd be out there shoveling the snow out of the path for the pigs so they'd go out and get some drink, water, and exercise. And when those days looked at me and said, "My God, woman, what do you do?"
That's what she said. She had the muscles. She
Yeah.
had too many muscles.
Yeah.
So the guys were wondering what she did. So. So I know of Braybeck in Browerville. The Braybeck you mentioned was how or what?
What's what?
Well, you married a Warzeha.
Oh, yeah, well, the Breiviks, there were some that taught school, too.
Okay.
And it wasn't Evelyn Breivik. I can't think of her name now, but she taught in the public school, and I would go over there and play piano. And after school, we'd just a few doors over and go and play piano until it was time to go home. or short chores and then get out and head out across country. And so,
You walk both ways?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. Very seldom that we, you know. But Dad never complained. In the wintertime, we ride the big bobsled around to get up to town. But and when the kids in town would see Dad, boy, they'd follow him around like nobody's business, and then he'd take them around town with the bobsled, and then all holler at the people in town. Of course, there was only one grocery store, but there was somebody at the post office or at the hardware store, and those kids would holler their whose ever name they were going to, show off, and they'd wave, and the people would come in and they'd wave to the kids on the bobsled and stuff. Of course, that's telling you that I'm more than 30 years old now, huh?
Yeah.
Does that tell you?
Okay. Yes, it does. We always liked our city cousins too.
Did you?
Well, yeah, 'cause when they come back to the farm, we would train them a little bit.
Oh yeah.
They weren't used to cow shit and thistles and stuff like
Right.
electric fences,
Right.
the battery electric fence. Did your dad get a car while you were on the farm, or?
Oh yeah, we had the biggest car in town, a Buick,
Ah,
and I have pictures of someplace around here that the isinglass on the back of the Buick in the window, and that's me in there. My face looks like it's only about this big.
ah,
So it's been a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So his first car was a Buick.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It was a great big Buick, but when I really saw it, it wasn't that big.
Yeah. When I went back to our second farm,
Uh-huh.
I was 30 years old, and the doors were narrower when I visited when I was 30 than when I was 5. Probably had something to do with my size.
Well, I didn't think about that. You
Oh,
just
you
shouldn't
did?
have
Okay.
mentioned it.
But you now understood.
Well, yeah.
Sorta, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But it was kind of funny because when we sit down on the three-legged stool to milk the cow, Ray would say, "I'm not going to get my fat ass down there next to yours."
And when
I didn't think that was very nice, but he was telling the truth.
well, it was wider than his. Well, maybe not.
And well, I have to think of that one.
Okay,
Okay.
come up with
I don't
it.
wanna
Come up with
answer it
it.
right
Oh, you
away.
okay? Well, all right.
Oh, but isn't this nice?
And you left the farm to do what? Move to another farm because you were married?
No, I left the farm to go to Minneapolis and work with Irene, my sister Irene, and Evelyn and her husband lived in Minneapolis. And when we would get really hungry, we'd go over to Evelyn's house, and Evelyn would say, "You go on back to your house. I have to get my own food." But it was, we didn't mind. Didn't mind. We'd walk from Minneapolis out to the farm like nothing for that. Not walk, but
I was going to say, I don't think you walked to Waverly.
oh God, no, not all the way. But it was really, altogether a different life.
Yeah.
What year would that have
Very,
been?
very nice.
What year roughly would that be?
What?
What year?
Oh,
You
I
were
don't-
18
Oh,
when you left the farm? 19?
oh, I was much younger than that. I liked the farm from the time that Mother and she'd take me out to pick eggs, and I used to love that. But she said, "No, be careful because they'll pick your arm," and so some of them did it, and I threw the egg back at the chicken, and Mom didn't like that because there was a baby chicken in it,
Ah,
and so. But that was not that one, no, because I threw the chicken at. I don't remember now. But the baby chicken fell out, and oh boy, was I surprised, and was I got extra that one. But we had a chicken house and the brooder house,
mm-hmm.
and We had a little stove in there that could carry around. I don't remember what kind it was, an oil stove. And boy, now you're going to have me thinking for lots of days about that farm. That's wonderful.
Well, that's why we came over.
Isn't
We
this,
wanted to hear that.
isn't this wonderful?
Your children haven't heard those stories yet.
What?
Your children haven't heard them stories yet.
No, not really, because they've got their things to do, and that's just old stuff.
That's right. That's what us old people got to do, though. We got to
Yeah.
tell them.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
won't believe us anyway, but
Well, sometimes I've heard say you're doggone right and join with exactly what I was saying too, which I thought was nice, but I don't know how old they were. But they weren't kids, I'll tell you. Old fogey like me. But it was fun, it was nice. And Uncle Ted lived in the farm joining the back end of the farm. His farm backed up to the big fence there, and Grandma always said it would go between Ted's house and our house, and she was in her 90s.
so that was Ted Warzeha?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Just so I can follow that when I look
Yeah,
at the tape.
and well, her name, the grandma was Frances.
But it was Warzeha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ted was Warzeha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
And this was at Waverly, or was this in?
Waverly.
Okay. So your whole relatives were in Waverly?
Not all. Oh no. Just Uncle Ted
Behind you.
and Dad were the farmers in Waverly. The rest of them lived in Minneapolis and in St. Louis Park. But
Okay.
oh, how we envied the kids from Minneapolis and St. Louis Park, and they would come out to Waverly and they'd just sit there and look at those cows and just enjoy them. You know, the feelings were opposite, but except exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, each
They only had to look at them for 1 hour or 3 hours, not
Huh.
day in and day out.
Yeah. It was beautiful, though. I loved that farm.
There was a story that Debbie mentioned about Anna or somebody taking a buggy ride to Long Prairie
To Barville.
or Barville. Okay.
Right.
What's
right.
that story since?
Well, that was Dad and Uncle Ted.
Okay. Warzeha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were going to be stand up for somebody's wedding,
Okay.
but I don't know who that was anymore. But they packed up some hay on the buggy, and on the wagon, and they put buckets on there so the horse could drink, and they just took off.
No.
Those bread, they didn't need to have any butter put on the bread or anything. They just break off a hunk and drink some water or some milk, and away they go again. And they went to Barville to this wedding, and they stood up for the people at the wedding. And
Okay.
so there was relatives of something I don't remember
Mhm.
anymore. But then the wedding was over and the dance was over. They harnessed up the horses and put a blanket over themselves, and away they went back.
Took a couple days or?
Oh, to get there, I can't remember, but I think it was, they slept overnight someplace, I know,
Okay.
but I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly. But don't forgive, I'm only, how old did I say I was now?
22.
Oh, 22, no,
20
you lie, I'm
Oh,
23.
Okay.
Jiminy Christmas, such a relative I got.
Well, 71st of anniversary of your 22nd birthday then.
Say that again,
71st anniversary
71st anniversary.
of your 22nd birthday. That makes you 93. Again.
Well, I think I have some dial soap out there. You go wipe your face out with your mouth out with
I want
soap.
lye soap.
Oh no,
Either-
that's dangerous. That takes the shine off your teeth.
I'll tell Grandma Rose that when I meet her in heaven, that she's the reason I have crowns now with that lye soap.
Oh, Mama was such a wonderful person. She was such a wonderful person, a hardworking woman, and always had a long dress on for the farm. And I could remember her and Aunt Pauline, no, Pauline Gramatka that lived in town. The two of them went shopping to the grocery store, to Mellon's grocery store, and they bought overalls to work outside. And Mother said, you know, those pants don't look so good, but oh, we can get around so much better than with the long dresses, you know. And so,
My mother made her dresses out of feed sacks. They
Right.
had the print feed sack.
flour sacks.
Yep. And they would get 2 or 3. They'd make sure they could get 2 or 3 of the same print.
That's right.
Otherwise, you'd have to have half and half.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. And then the nuns at school would compliment you on your beautiful dress and that Mother had made. But then if we didn't have a uniform, we'd be in trouble. But sometimes the uniform would you couldn't wear that to school because you need to show off a little bit.
Ah.
So Mama says, I'll get the uniforms washed while you're at school. Well, it was
Mothers help daughters. Is that what?
sneaky way of doing stuff, but that was fun.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to prompt us mail somehow.
Not too often.
We're pretty good at it all by ourselves.
But we had a big pavilion down by the lake. Real big pavilion. It must have been as big as this house, really. Come right down to think about it. And they had seats that went around the sides, so inside like this. And the men would come and ask the lady to dance, and the other girls would say, well, what about us? And so the guys say, just no. And he'd go away. Pretty soon he'd come back with a couple other guys, and we'd all go out and dance. So there was
Things to do.
things to do. Where you going?
Oh, at night it's sleeping.
You're going to get lost in there.
No.
You're going to get lost, yeah? You're going to get lost.
And stay up all night now.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. Come crawl in with me. Yeah. I have Max come in to say goodnight every night, and he gets the muscles over here like this, and he goes,
Nudge.
I
Yeah.
wonder how many miles he's made on those muscles, you know? And so pretty soon he comes over and he just lays his head on my head, and that's the time to go to bed.
Okay.
But
So now the children showed up. What children's story?
huh?
Your children showed up. What children's stories
Right.
that you want to put on tape?
What? But what?
That you want to put on video here? So each of your children,
Oh,
how good they were, how bad they were.
nah.
Nah.
My kids were good. I was the one that was the mischievous one.
Well, that's your brothers and sisters. I'm talking about your children.
Oh, my children.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a daughter that's so straight-laced that Jiminy Christmas.
What's her name, since I don't know it?
Amanda.
Oh, okay.
Just a minute now. I got my long pants on here. She's so doggone, you know what I'm looking for isn't there. She's so straight-laced that she just, I don't know. And one day she came over and I said, well, who are you? Because I couldn't see her anymore. She says, well, I'm Amanda, and I have a present for you. I forgot the cat was here to start moving.
Now
And-
you woke it up.
Yeah, and she gave me a rosary made out of some kind of seeds.
Okay.
And Did you find it?
Oh, I'll take the kitty for a
Oh,
minute.
you're gonna take my cat?
Well, I'll just feed him and we'll take him. I love you.
Oh, you come back with some other one.
Yes, we're just gonna get a little food.
We'll get you a new one.
Huh?
No, she's still over here, so.
Oh,
We'll get you. I'm just gonna feed the kitty, Grandma.
oh, okay,
And then you'll be back.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So your straight-laced daughter.
Oh, yeah, and she made the rosary for me, and, then there's Anne. It's a school teacher, and
Okay.
she's been teaching for many years in Wisconsin. And then Jim, my Jim.
Yeah, and Jim's here. I haven't
Oh,
met
is
him
he
yet.
here yet?
Yeah. Well, I was going to meet him, so I hope he's here yet.
Oh,
That's Karen's husband, right?
oh, he's a good cook.
Is he?
Oh, dang it, he's a good cook. Yep. He's put on meals that just show you up. I have put on some pretty darn good meals too, but that guy's much better than I am.
Okay.
And he put on a meal yesterday for, I don't remember, but I had some of his food. Is just a very good cook. Yeah, they had shrimp and they had chicken and something else, and I can't remember. And of course, I can't remember my second name when I move a foot over that way sometimes.
Okay, we'll keep you here then.
Huh?
We'll keep you here then, so you remember.
Yeah, yeah. But isn't this nice?
Uh-huh.
Isn't this nice? And 5 minutes from now, I'll ask who you are again.
Nope, you haven't asked that for 15. You're slowing
Well, then
down.
who the hell are you?
Your third cousin,
Okay.
twice removed, whatever that means.
Yeah, I've always asked what that meant, and
Well,
people have told me, but it doesn't make much sense. I don't know what that
First,
means.
second, third makes sense to me.
Yeah, second.
Well, being Polish, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond that, forget it.
Yeah, Warzeha. You're doggone right. But isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice?
So your Anna tell you anything about the trip on the boat or anything you can recall there? Because the Warzekas and the Lucases are on the same boat.
Yeah, and I can't remember, but I do remember something way back, but I can't remember what it was right now.
Okay,
But
I'll prompt you again.
but it but can you imagine getting on a buggy, horse-drawn buggy in New York and going to Waverly?
My two families, the Lucas and Lamuzga, came on the train to Chicago.
Oh, then from Chicago they
Then-
went on.
Then they got on a cattle car.
That's just what it is.
Yep, and they got on a cattle car, and that took them to Minneapolis. And then there were people there that would want their workers, so they would take some of the men or women
Uh-huh.
and take them out to Waverly and Long Prairie and
This is so true. God loves you.
well, that's the BS that I heard.
What's that, the BS?
Yeah. You know what BS is, don't give me that.
Yeah.
So that's how my
Bacon and sauce? Yeah.
or bullshit that your calf flipped you into. Okay.
I've said that a few times, and folks didn't like it.
Lysol. So yeah, I don't think they did horse and buggy from New York.
No,
That-
no,
that-
but it took a whole day to where they were going. Something, I don't remember then.
You've done very well. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I do remember a lot of things, but sometimes in the middle of the night I'll wake up and say, oh, and there I go.
Well,
and the morning is gone again.
You don't have to be 93 for that to happen. That happens at 70 and 50 and
Yeah, yeah. But I'm so embarrassed when I say I can't remember that anymore. That bothers me a lot. But so be it. You know.
so the conversation so far you're happy with?
Oh hell yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. Heck yes.
Nah.
I don't
Sister
swear.
Abigail's in here.
Yeah.
Well, she's still here in your head, in my head, but or Grandma Rose or
What was that I kicked?
Dottie. You just kicked Dottie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. She needs to be kicked every once in a while.
Who is this?
My wife.
Oh.
She's taking pictures of us and recording the. We're gonna play that back to you in a little while when you start asking the questions again.
I'm not going to admit to one thing.
What thing? What thing aren't you gonna admit to?
From the beginning. Oh, Lord. I think you're getting all as bad up as me.
I hope so. I don't plan on changing, so I hope so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So you want me to take a break and I'll see if I can come up with some other stuff to talk about?
well,
Or you can come up with some stuff to talk about.
I think I better go upstairs for the little boy's room first.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna take a break and talk to the people in the kitchen.